Good morning, everyone. This is Lolly. So, as you know from my last video, I have been going through game closets and looking at thrift stores as well. And you end up with all these little odd pieces, and what do you do with them? Well, one of the games that I'm going to use to make another junk journal had these in it. And sorry, my fingers are inky. And these are those little black plastic, and sometimes they're different colors, that hold your game pieces that are made out of chipboard. And I thought, chipboard? I have so many pieces of chipboard that are scraps from when I have made my mini album. So I wanted to put these to good use. So I just cut some of my scraps down into 3-inch squares. I mean, I don't want it too big because then it will kind of wobble over. So I thought 3 inch was a good size. I grabbed a piece of, I think this is 4.5-inch cardstock here. And I'm just going to glue that on here. This is a Yoo-Hoo glue stick, U-H-U, yes, that's how it's spelled. It's a real permanent glue stick, and usually you have to get these from art stores because they don't just have them in your regular Hobby Lobby and things like that. So it is blue so you can see what you're doing, but then it dries clear. Okay, so I'm going to get that glue off my fingers. Now this, you don't have to have one, but this is called a perfect trim ruler. Yes, perfect trim ruler. And I'll have to give instructions on how to use it later. But right now, what I want to show you it in action. And this enables you to cut basically a perfect mitered corner based on the depth of the cardstock you're using. There's one, so I'm going to cut off all these corners just to mat my little piece of chipboard here. And there's one more after this, and this will be my last one. And I'm obviously doing this a lot faster than I normally would. Then I'm going to take this bone folder and just give a nice crease right there to help these fold well. There we go. And I'm going to glue those down. I think I want a nice piece of scrap under there so I don't mess up my craft area. I'm just going to glue these flaps one at a time on there. You can use your favorite glue for this. You can use the double-sided tape, the tape runner, you know, red line tape, whatever you want. My first one of these I did. Yeah, I can see this is not the best glue for a thick cardstock because I'm going to have to hold this for a minute. So my first one that I did of this was a lightweight paper, and so it was a lot easier and quicker to use the glue stick. See, I didn't have to hold it as long. I'm going to put pressure on this while I cap my glue stick. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to pause the video while this hardens. Okay, so that's better now. And then I want to put, this is the back of it, I want to put something inside here. I've already pre-stamped and cut these. These are 2.5-inch squares. Oops, it's still wanting to pick up there, so I'll cover that up and that will help. Just cover that over the back. Now this is a stamp I got at Michael's. It says handmade with love by, excuse me. And then I also cut another 2.5 for the front, matching, and it just says friend all over it, but you can use whatever you have. Remember, we're upcycling and repurposing what we have in our room, so use a stamp or an image or whatever you want for the front of yours. And then I have already assembled out of my little embellishment bucket some pieces that I think would look cute on this. And I'm going to put a nice big item on there just to get it some real focus. Obviously, you have to keep in mind weight. You don't want to make this so heavy that it's going to be difficult to stay upright in our little holder. Let me see if I can get that in the center there. Yeah. I am using glossy accents to add dimension here with some of these items. And I'm not going to glue anything around the bottom. Obviously, we need to protect the bottom because that is where our little holder is going to go. Okay. big item right there. Now this is going to take a while to dry, and because of that I'm not going to be in a hurry to pick this item up. I'm going to let it set. And now I want this on there. You notice it's a shank button, so I've been asked many times, what do you do with a shank button? This is shank pliers that you can snap that off of there. I put my hand over it but not on it. I don't want to get pinched, but I do want to catch that as it pops off there because it shoots across the room. Keep in mind that once you cut the shank off, usually your inside design will pop out as well, so make sure you keep an eye on that. Okay, and I think I'm going to put this little heart there if I can glue that without my fat fingers getting in the way here. Whoops, 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 whoops. This is a hard one to get a hold of. There, okay. And I think one more. I need a little half pearl, flat back pearl right here would look really cute. So that's how I'm going to leave that. I have to find my little pin that goes in my glue. Well, that's going to have to be found later. Here we go. So I will show you one that I've already completed of this. While this dries, I did one in spring colors, and there that is. And see, I used the same rubber stamps, and I just used graph paper on this one. But when you push that down in there, it's a nice firm hold, okay? That's why I wanted to use up my chipboard, because just cardstock would not be thick enough to stay in here. So if you just keep playing around with what you have, if you don't have chipboard, you might want to use several layers of cardstock glued together, maybe 4, and see if that would be a nice firm hold in there. For instance, here's 2. That's too loose. 3, 4. Let's try 4 layers of cardstock. And still a little too loose, maybe 5 or 6. It depends on the thickness of your paper. So just look around to see what you have. You can use a cereal box and wrap that in paper and see if that would be thick enough to stay in here. But I'm doing this for a friend. I wanted to give her a thank you, and I thought this would be cute sitting on her table. So thank you so much for watching my latest video on upcycling and repurposing.